guys, it's your boy, I'm Helix for Truth podcast today. So yeah, empowerment podcast. I just want to say a few things today. Today I want to focus on empowerment for Asians who are dealing with certain situations and empowerment. So yeah, I want to share my experience today. So for the past few weeks, I've been dealing with a lot of situations in my time, me and my mom both. First off, I want to say a few things. My mom is the sweetest, kindest mom out there, including my grandma, my grandpa. Not a lot of people know this, but I did lost my grandma last year, and it hurts me more than anything else. So yeah, I just want to point out a few things. Recently I've been dealing with a situation. I'm just gonna keep it anonymous because I don't want to hurt my friends more or anything else, but I want to share something today. Let's just call this person E. So E needed a ride, right? And we have been giving him rides, me and my mom both. Recently when we stopped driving him because we told him, my mom told him that she is unwell and she's got to put her safety first, right? Health and safety are the number one here. And on Google, it does says if a person cannot drive because of their health, they gotta put that first. So E here thinks it was okay to decide forcing my mom to drive him every day to the movie night thing, which it's at Paul Lander Community Park, in Canada, of course. He started treating my mom very poorly by saying some messed up things, in the text, which I'm not gonna get into it, but he was being really rude to my mom and treating her like a servant, like his personal free taxi, which he does have his own car, right? And he starts making a big deal out of it after my mom told him, hey, I cannot drive you anymore because I am unwell. My mom has a depression and so much more, health problems. And it was my mistake telling him, hey, I'll give you a ride whenever you need it, which is only when you need it. That's what I said. And then I did tell him back, hey, my mom is sick. You can't be, blowing up my phone and expecting me to drive you. It's not my car. It's my mom's car. I even told him that using my words in a nice way. And then he starts making the monkey sounds, because he got that from me, and I asked him to stop and he didn't listen. That's on him. That's his fault for not listening to my words and my mom's words. And so I told him, my mom can't drive you anymore because she is unwell and I want her a break. But as stubborn as he was, he wants to make a small situation a big problem. So the other week on July 2nd, on a Wednesday, I went over there because this guy, D, we'll call him D because I said I was going to keep it anonymous. He invites me over and I was chill and everything respectfully. And then at the end, he says, I provoked him, aka the E guy, which totally was remotely wrong. I did not provoke him anything because I was chill, I was calm, and, I told E and D, stop blaming my mom and I, into your, mistakes. This is your mistake, right? And the D guy said he wants to ask one question. I said, no, just leave this problem alone. This is between me and him and stuff. And he tried blaming my mom again after he left, telling D's brother, aka we'll call him B, said that, you know, my mom was provoking him by going to a store, which is remotely not true. It's not their style. It's not our way, because we're respectful people. So there's a driveway near my house, right? Near my mom's house. We have to take that way because there's only one way out and in of the parking lot. So there's a law that states that you cannot stop someone from going in and out of the driveway. So there's no foul play here. And yeah, so like, you know, me and my mom were chill. The other week my mom also told him the same thing, like my mom is unwell, she cannot drive her, because I do want my mom a break. So this is his mistake and it's no one else's, but he's trying to lie about it by saying we provoked him, which we didn't. And he told his friends the same lie that he told his mom. And so they said they were gonna they kind of threatened me with cops and shit and a bunch of stuff, right? Which the cops don't even have time to deal with small situations like this. So yeah, so like I want to say, like, you know, they were wrong for provoking me and my mom, right? And the B guy said, you know, I know this E guy longer. It's not important. The main important thing is the truth. So I'm gonna name this podcast Helix Live the Truth. So I want to speak out my situations here today because I feel like I need to, or else it will tear me and my mom apart. Well, it will tear me apart, and it has made me sad a little bit. But I have moved forward because I'm not about, you know, creating drama or more. I just want to tell the story so you guys can learn from it. For those who have, you know, family members who are dealing with this, or just flat out, you know, dealing with racism. Right? Racism has been like a long thing coming in the past, so I wanna speak my truth today. And yeah, I hope this podcast can help y'all deal with situations. It's best to be calm. It's best to remain calm. And I told the E guy and D guy, like, this is no one's mistake but the E guys, you know, the guy E's fault for not listening to my mom or her words or mine. So here we are, you know, and I moved past it. I cut ties with him, of course. He lives, you know, close to my neighborhood called Brybeck. Yeah, and I just want to say a few things like this. So y'all can, you know, deal with situations like this, who people want to blame you for it when it's nobody else's fault. I even told my mom's worker about this. He said, yeah, ignore it. It will pass. It's best to ignore and not stupid to their level. And I agree. And I talked to my cousin. He said, ignore them. You know, if they have no proof of me being at the door, then that's that, right? I maybe go past it, because the law states that my mom could go grocery shopping. She can't just stay inside and not eat anything. That's not how it works. And it's a public parking lot, right? So anybody can go in and out. And if someone else were to get blocked by them, they're going to yell at them and call the cops, probably. And the cops will say the same thing. So just empty threats and stuff. But I want to say this. My mom's the sweetest mom in the world. She sacrificed so much. Me and my mom and grandma sacrificed so much for me to be here today. And the B guy said some messed up things about my mom as well. He tried to blame my mom again, and then he brings old past like, you know, drama. Another guy I had drama with, we'll call him N, because he was being really rude to me, and, you know, being racist to Asians by calling people names, rice maker, and so on. He was just copying this white guy that says it. So I was fine until I told him no, right? So anyways, that's not the point. But the B guy kept bringing old baggage, and I said, you know, to him, believe what you want. And I even told the E and D guy, like, how dare you blame my mom and I for your mistakes when you're the one that created them? It's no one's fault but yours. And so that's what I said. And I kind of moved on from the situation. I'm learning to move forward. And you know what? That's fine. Sometimes you gotta cut ties from people who are being rude and disrespectful to your mom. It's this generation that makes it hard for anybody to live in Canada, because you're all being rude about it. You're all about caring about money instead of realizing people's health. And my mom said to him too, to the E guy, like, what if your mom wants a break and sleep and stuff? She deserves the same thing here. She just wants a break from driving him, and it's okay to do that. You can't force someone and treat them like garbage and expect them to drive you all the time. That's not how it works, and it will never work that way, because the law states that you can't force someone if their health is an issue. So my mom's health is a big issue, right? She gets tired easily. She's old. She deserves a break. You can't force someone to drive them if they have a car of their own. He's just lazy and he wants to save gas. So does my mom. My mom has to waste gas for you just to drive you to movie night when it's like a short distance from your house. Like, you can bike there, you can walk there. Until it's a big emergency, then people will drive you. But not in this case, because it's a small situation that you turn into a big situation. So this E guy kept making, false lies for people to listen to him, and they fall for it. Even my mom and I talked to D and B, and along with his friends, telling him the truth. And my mom even called the worker right in front of them. And then the D guy, this was like the other week. So my mom told this Asian guy, this Vietnamese guy, we'll call him A for short. He called the worker, and then the D guy snatched his flip phone. That's what my mom told me, and that's the truth. My mom never lied. So yeah, small situation became a big situation. So this E guy has made it, very clear, right? And then he tells his friends, his little friends B and D, and the rest of his friends, so K and M, saying that it's my mom's fault when you drag my mom into it. So when I got home, the B guy texted me, like, because the E guy texted him saying that I stick the middle finger at him, which is not true. I was holding my headphones like a gauntlet because I have anxiety. Which, yes, he maybe misunderstands a lot of things, but judging someone because they're not the same color as them, or white, or black, or anything, that's just like racist right there. And I could tell when somebody doesn't like me or appreciate me enough. And sometimes you gotta cut ties with those people, right? So I stayed calm. I held my teeth together. I held my ground, and stuff. And yeah, like, I was so respectful to everyone in the friend group. But sometimes you gotta cut ties and stuff, because people are not gonna be your friend all the rest of your life or anything. So yeah, that's what I want to say today, is because a lot of people think racism is okay to judge people or anything. It's not true. Like, you shouldn't be hating on Asians because they're not the same color as you, or make a big deal out of it. And that's what B and D and E here did, because they want to judge people and make me angry so I can get more in trouble. They want a reaction. Well, you're not gonna get it. You're not gonna get it. And today on my podcast, this podcast, I want to say just that. Explain my situation, my mom's situation. And every day my mom has to deal with people like that who want to judge people, who want to tear people apart because they don't want to respect anybody. And it does make me sad. It does make me sad that people are like this now in Canada. Back then it wasn't like this. It wasn't always judgy. And it does make me sad because my mom has to deal with it. And what happens if they hit my mom, right? My mom could easily call the worker and I'll fight back because they hit my mom first, right? Even if that happened, my mom has every right to call the cops on them because they provoked my mom and they try to swing, right? I'm just saying this as an example. What happens if my mom gets hurt? That would be on them. And here they're trying to blame my mom and argue with her when you're a grown ass man. You should own up to your own mistakes, because in life you have to take responsibility for your actions. And that's what I want to say today. And that's what B and E and D did. They invited me and then they tried to point the blame on me again. And I told them, I warned them in the text, don't ever blame my mom. You have your own mistakes to fix, so learn how to fix your own mistake. That's what I told B. And I told him and his brother D and his friend E to back the fuck off, because you're not gonna get anything from my mom. You bring my mom into this situation when you already know the truth, and you still go behind our backs believing the liar. And he tells me that don't call people liars when it's the truth, because he can't handle the truth. B can't handle the truth. So, so far in this situation, you judge my mom for not driving someone when she's only putting her health safety first. Safety is number one first. And that's what I want to say is, you can't fucking force me or my mom to do your bidding like servants. We're not your fucking servants. We are human beings. So today, for this podcast, that's what I want to explain the situation. But I want also bring, Asian empowerment. How can we as people be better and solve these kind of situations better? Anyways, this is podcast for Helix Live the Truth. Helix is me. My name is Jason. So Helix Live the Truth. So yeah. That's for the podcast today, and I hope you guys enjoy. Peace. It's, also I want to say quote of the day. Our job is to, stand up for what's right, no matter what it is. Anyways, if y'all, I'm Vietnamese. If any one of y'all are Vietnamese or Asian, you are more than welcome to comment on this and speak on this on my YouTube channel and Instagram. And let me know if you have, similar situations. Feel free to reach out. Feel free to talk to me or talk it out. I'm here to listen to people's stories, and I want to make a difference in the world. I promise myself to make a difference in the world, no matter what color or race. We're all human beings. We can be better human beings by spreading a lot of positivity and kindness in the world, by helping someone and showing you're kind. Not by lying, not by hiding, not being a coward, not by lying to people to turn on them. That's not the way. Please spread lots of positivity and kindness today. And that's all I want to say is, make sure you talk to someone. Don't keep things inside, and it's best to ignore it and stay calm. And me and my mom were right on this one situation. We did the right thing. Now it's their turn, right? I'm gonna let it pass. I'm not trying to say this story to make people blow up their phones and try to hate on them. Yes, what those three people and the rest of their friends did to my mom and I was wrong. And the E guy and his mom was wrong too. So all I can hope is that they learn from their mistakes and fix it. But at this point in time, I can't forgive someone. They gotta show me that I can trust them again. And I just can't forgive them right now. Anyways, I can't forgive them at this moment because I cut ties with them. There's nothing that I can say will change the past. All I can do is move forward and live my best life right now. And that's all I can do. But at this point in time, it will pass. But even if they come back to me with open arms, I'm not gonna be pleased or open arms with them. They gotta earn my trust back now, and that's final. And I have blocked them, but I just hope the situation, the story can help someone else not to be, like not to hold on to anger and stuff. So yeah, this is Helix Live the Truth podcast. Your boy Helix is out. Peace. As well, I want to add something to the podcast right now, guys. A last part is, I want to inspire some hope and inspiration for empowerment for Asians and other people out there. Brush your teeth while Asian. Eat while you're Asian. Get dressed while you're Asian. Do whatever makes you happy, Asian. Eat breakfast while Asian, and stuff like that. People have no moral code on being kind in this era. A lot of people are just pretending to be kind to you, and people want something out of you, and people want to judge you for who you are as a person. It's best to not to stoop it to their level, because even they want to call the cops and make assumptions about you, fake ones, and yet people get judged by cops and other human beings for doing what's right while being Asian. It's tough being Asian as it is, and people are judging others just because of their skin color and making false making false lies so they can win. You know how bad that's gonna get someone in trouble or killed because you're not telling the truth? Like, seriously, like, I'm not trying to say black people are racist towards Asians, but it feels like it right now. And I'm not saying this to be mean. Like, people need to get their shit together and start being nice to other people, like Asian peoples have for many years now. It's just racism that is old. Like, the cops won't do anything about it, and as people, we need to be better than that. We need to be more different and be better and spread as much positivity as we can, and I'm saying this out of experience. I've seen a lot of racism in my time, and I even got judged by people because of my skin color, and saying I don't belong in Canada, I don't belong anywhere, oh, we brought the COVID virus. But yet people don't know the full story on those things, yet they make assumptions about me and my mom for it. Today in this podcast, I just want to say that is because people need to get their shit together, start realizing who you're hurting, who you're blaming, but yet you don't have any proof of it. Anyways, that's all I want to say for the very beginning story of the podcast. So I just want to say that because for years me and my mom had dealt with racism and judged by people, and people forcing us to do things that we don't want to do. And it sucks that Canada has become like this. Back then, when my grandma was still alive, it was never like this. And so I just feel sad and hurt on the inside that no one's willing to stand up for what's right anymore. They just want it their way. Well, too bad. When someone is ill, you don't force someone to drive someone. They gotta put health first. So that's what E and D and B did, and along with his friends who spread lies about my mom when we never provoke anything. Not our style, not our way. We're always kind to people, but people have been mean to us. So yeah, anyways, for this podcast, I just want to say that, and I hope people who are dealing with the same situations with racism as an Asian person, you can talk to somebody about it, and make sure you don't stoop to their level and stuff. But as well as being Asian, there's some, tough things to go along with it, but we have to stand up for what's right. So let's come together, every, race or Asians, let's come together and build empowerment by treating people fairly, by being kind to people, no matter what color they are. Be respectful and not make, false lies about Asians or people who in your friend group or in your family. Let's lift each other up in spirit or in person by being, just being a kind human being and a genuine person. Let's start that today. So every morning, if you go on walks or if you see somebody who's, dressed nice, make sure you compliment them. Like, hey, you look awesome today. Or, hey, you can send them wishes like, oh, I wish you have a great day today. Or something like that. Let's all be nice to one another instead of tearing people apart. So yeah, that's my podcast today. That's all I want to do. I know I said a lot in here, but yeah, if you guys want to be on my show, well not show, but be on the podcast and how your experience being Asian is, or have you ever been judged or something like that? Yeah, I'm welcome. This is my first podcast, so I hope people can learn from this and be better and learn their own mistakes instead of blaming it on someone and being racist towards Asians or other people. Let's all come together and be kind and be respectful with one another. And that's all I want to say. And it makes me sad that people are like that now. It really does. And all I could do is cry. And I worry sick for my mom every single day, afraid that something might happen to her, or one of the people that I know might hit her, or worse, because they didn't get it their way. So I'm just going to ignore the situation and put it to the side, and I'm going to focus on my life. But I want to, in 20 years, I see myself making a world a better place, and I'm going to start now. And we all should, And don't let people make assumptions and lies about your mom or disrespect your parent, no matter what. Because if there ain't anybody like, us or me standing up for what's right, people can just tell whatever lie they wanted. And that's not what my podcast is about. My podcast is about being better and inspiring people and having empowerment for all race, or just race that are similar to mine, like Vietnamese people, but we're welcome to all race. And I want to spread positivity and empowerment for Asians who are dealing with the same situations. Just ignore them, focus on your life and living a better life. That's what's gonna get you through the day, and that's what's gonna get you through every single day. Even I know Canada can be tough times for everyone, so let's try to come together and spread positivity today. So yeah, anyways, let's all say a prayer in silent. And yeah, and I just want to wish everyone a good morning, a good afternoon, good everything today. Don't worry about nonsense. Sometimes we gotta cut ties with people who don't see eye to eye with us or make lies and assumptions. One day they're gonna learn their mistake, so let it pass. So yeah, I hope the story can help someone out there. And yeah, if you want to hear more podcasts like this on empowerment or other topics, let me know in the comments. This will be up on my channel and maybe on my Spotify and everything else, every social media. So yeah, spread positivity, you guys.